Hello, Bravehead Radio, and welcome to the Bargain Bin Podcast with me, Adam Docken, and I'm joined by my two favourite co-hosts,
Nick
and Jack.
And each week we dive into 3 different films and tell you if they're pretty good, pretty bad, or just damn right ugly. And this week we're starting off with Stuck on You. So, guys, what did you think of it?
Stuck on You, the 2003 comedy drama about Matt Damon being a conjoined twin. I have to say, it made me laugh a lot.
I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
It was great.
Jack loved it as well, and he's going to tell us the entire plot. So, Jack, what was the plot of Stuck on You?
Well, the plot on Stuck on You is that Matt Damon and his brother in it, who is Greg Kinnear?
Greg Kinnear.
Of
Yeah.
famous Dumb and Dumber fame.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh,
yeah.
is that him?
Yeah.
Yep, I
and
knew
The
that.
Newsroom, which is really good. You should watch that. It's really good.
Him and his brother go to, obviously they're conjoined together, and they want to become a famous acting couple, so they go to Hollywood to try and make this dream come true. And Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. That would have been a better movie.
Yeah, probably would have been, to be honest. Matt Damon's more shy.
So like
You
brother.
are reading
this
from
thing-
Wikipedia.
yeah, I
at this
am
point.
just-
Jack can't remember a single
No,
thing about
I
this
really
film.
can't.
Jack zoned out during this film.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Basically, Matt Damon is a really shy conjoined twin, and the other one wants to be an actor. So he starts getting roles being an actor, and they have to place the camera so that Matt Damon can't be seen in the scene. It's all very weird, and then Matt Damon falls in love, and it's
both
just
fall in love.
Yeah, it's just a very weird story.
I loved the CG. So basically, when the character who is the guy from Dumb and Dumber, I forgot his name,
Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear, when he gets big and famous, he moves off into LA, and he gets a part on a show where he's like a detective.
Yeah.
And obviously, because he's conjoined to Matt Damon, they have to CG him out of the scenes. So they get him in a big, giant green morph suit, and it's just Matt Damon's little head wandering around the scenes in a big green suit. I loved it so much.
I vaguely remember
You
that.
vaguely
Yeah,
remember that.
I do not remember,
Do you remember
virtually anything about
the
this
bits
film.
before they introduced the green screen, where they had to dress him up like the set, so he had to
Yeah.
hide behind doors.
I don't
Dressed him
remember
up
that
as a
either.
lamp and a door. It was great.
This is honestly the most forgettable film I've ever seen. The
What
fact that
do you mean?
we're talking about it, and I
This has
genuinely
one.
can't remember.
This has one of
half
the
film.
best jokes in a film I have ever seen. One of the characters in it is literally Cher. Cher
Oh, yeah,
playing
Cher's-
herself.
Yeah.
And one of the jokes is that she's in a relationship with Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle. And multiple times you see them in bed together, and Malcolm is still like a 13-year-old boy, and Cher is Cher. And it's hilarious.
It is really, really weird.
Yeah.
Like, they mentioned in it, because I was rewatching the scenes, it's like, they can't, Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle, whatever his name is, can't stay up later than 9 because he's got a test tomorrow, a geography test. And you're like, oh, you can't get away with that joke nowadays, can you?
No.
Do you know what's really weird about this film?
What?
You know, there's on YouTube, there's like a YouTube channel which shows you clips of every single film ever made.
Yeah?
Movie
Not
clips.
Movie clips.
Yeah.
Not a single one on Stuck on You.
It's because no one saw this movie.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's so
It
heartfelt.
had.
and
Tell you what though, it had a budget of $55 million.
Yeah, they needed all that practical effects for the
To stick
conjoined,
Matt Damon to
conjoined
that guy.
twins thing.
Like for 2003, $55 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, using rough exchange rate, that's about $1 billion.
Yeah, about that.
Probably.
Probably about $1 billion.
I
Isn't
mean,
It cost more than Infinity War.
it? Yeah.
yeah. The Stuck on You had a bigger budget than Infinity War. You heard it here first.
Confirmed. Oh, I really hope you get famous enough where that will end up on a website somewhere. You can trace it back to us just spying and spewing out rubbish.
One thing about this movie is the characters meet Meryl Streep at some point because they keep talking. Greg Kinnear's character, one of the conjoined twins, he keeps talking about how Meryl Streep is his hero, and they keep mentioning it. And all the way through, I was like, I swear to God, if Meryl Streep's in this movie, I'm going to be so mad. And then they meet her in a restaurant, and she has a cameo, and I was like, oh,
It was really awkward. That
Meryl,
moment.
what have you done? You've just like ruined your acting career by showing your face in this movie. It's awful.
I mean, I would have taken that was probably half the $55 million budget. Just get Meryl Streep in
Probably.
for 10 minutes.
How much do you think it grossed worldwide?
Uh,
It beat its budget.
I think
Oh, it beat its budget.
65 million. I'm not looking over at his notebook. That's a guess.
Wow, I'll tell you what, it's a really close guess. 'Cause it's £65,784,503
Well,
dollars.
Dollars, yeah. Nobody ever does anything in pounds.
No.
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 Do you remember the bit in the this show should just be called "Do you remember that bit?" That's all we do. Do you remember the bit in the diner? It's like 60 seconds or less, and your meal is free.
Oh yeah, so the film starts with the conjoined twins working as a chef in a diner, and they have this like weird system where they're both flipping burger patties at each other and assembling the buns, and they have to make every burger in 60 seconds or less.
It's really good, like choreographed. It's quite good. I reckon. I mean, CGI is not a thing for this, but I reckon a lot of that is just really good timing and then working quite well.
Yeah, it's probably like in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Literally about to say, yeah.
Tobey Maguire in that. How many takes did that take?
It's either 105 or 306.
Yeah.
It's like
Or it's
one of those
like the
ridiculous numbers.
pizza on the roof in Breaking Bad where it took one take.
First take, first try. Since we're not doing this film in order, do you remember the bit when they get the surgery? They have a fight in the film, like every film that has conjoined twins would do. They have a fight and then they get separated.
They
And the
have
bit
the
in
surgery to get separated.
Yeah, so when they get separated, they've got the two love interests in the film sitting in the waiting room. The doctor comes out and does the little sketch where he keeps misinforming them about how the surgery went. They keep thinking they're dying. I love that bit. It's like, it went really, really badly. It's like, oh my God, are they dead? No, we just, it took too long. They come out in two separate wheelchairs. I felt really heartbroken when they just split off.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
split off.
And they couldn't perform any of their tasks because they needed each other.
Matt Damon went back to be the chef at the burger restaurant.
But he couldn't do anything.
He couldn't do anything without his brother. And his brother went to try and be an actor, but he didn't have any of the same charm or any of the same finesse.
They get rejoined back together again, and they go off and have their separate lives, sort of together, with their love interests. And then he becomes an actor at the end on a stage show. Meryl Streep's watching him in the play.
I vaguely remember that. Like, honestly, like I can't give this
You've got
film a
this
score
really
because I don't
hazy
remember
vision
any
of
of it.
I liked it. I don't know. I can't see why you don't like it. It's got charm. It's got heart.
I don't remember any of it. Like, I just think that's my one thing for this section of the podcast.
I
just keep on going
remember.
over and over. I just that's
Do you remember
that's
the
my
bit with
one
the
response.
dragon, Jack?
Oh, I do actually. Yeah, that's the one bit I do remember. Yeah,
I am shirtless, by the way.
yeah.
Is that for the normal podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we just brought this up. 10
we-
minutes
I
into
I
this.
feel like they need to know.
Yeah.
Speaking of things
I'm
I
a
should
bit
have brought
hot.
up at the beginning, can I just apologise now for two things in last week's episode? Number one, the audio, because me and Nick had to share a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hogged my own one.
Yeah, Jack wouldn't let me have his because he bites. And I also have to apologise to the Welsh because listening back to the first one,
Yeah.
I agreed, but I didn't mean to, and I don't. I really don't. I kind of agreed with by accident, the racist interpretation saying it was fine because it was comedy. And I just want to say,
Sorry.
I
Yeah,
don't want to
sorry,
end up like
everybody.
James Gunn. Got him in.
Got him in.
There you go. How are we going to get into the next two films?
I got this.
Adam's
apologise
got
again.
a plan.
You'll never guess what James Gunn's second favourite film is. That's a callback to last week, listeners.
Who wants to play a game? Gamey game, oh gamey game.
That's such a good jingle.
That's
we need to
that's my
stick with that
jingle.
every
We'll
single
stick with this
week.
jingle
Yeah, we'll
every
just
time.
steal it from Dick and Dom.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that a Dick and
Yeah, that's
I
the
never
Dick and Dom.
never watched Dick and Dom. See, I'm continuing the trend that I don't watch anything.
Jack doesn't watch anything, so we thought we'd
Okay.
do a film podcast.
Yeah.
So this is a first time trying this, exclusive live, but not live pre-recorded.
No, don't
This
don't
ga-
spoil the magic. This is live. Text in.
Is it text in? We're live.
No, legally,
Text
you
in.
can't do that. Legally,
You
I've
can't
got to
do
say,
that.
do not text in.
This game we're about to play is called Quick Make a Film. And the premise is two of us will say a countdown and then both at the same time say the name of a film, a TV show, a fictional location, or a character. And the third person has 10 seconds to think, then has to pitch a film combining these two things in 1 minute. So for this week, me and Jack will both be saying a word and Adam will be coming up with a film. So Adam, quick, make a film. Jack, have you got something to say?
I think that you should go first.
No, we have to say it at the same time.
Oh, we have to say it at the same time.
Can I
Okay.
just interrupt saying, we talked about this beforehand, Nick, and we were going to do it on Jack.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I feel like
I've reversed it
really
on you.
annoying. I should have spoken before you.
Okay, have you got a character or a film or a TV show?
Getting in the zone, listeners. Getting in the
Um,
zone.
I'll give you an example to begin with. So we've played this before on our own a bit because we're sad.
It was during a really bad film though.
It was.
We started to diverge.
I said the In-Betweeners, and Adam said the X-Men, and we came up with the idea of a superhero university where people have really bad superpowers and are trying to improve, but they're just going around trying to go out to clubs and trying to do studenty things with their really bad powers. Okay, Jack, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Andy
Paul
Samberg
Blart
from
Mall
Brooklyn
Cop.
Nine-Nine.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad one.
So I said Paul Blart Mall Cop, and
I
you said
Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Now,
so
do
Jake
you,
from Brooklyn
Yeah,
Nine-Nine.
Jake from Brooklyn
So you've got 10 seconds.
Just before, do you mean the film, or do you mean the character?
I mean the film.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a really easy one. All right,
It's really
Give
easy.
me
you've got
10
10 seconds to
10
think.
seconds.
Dun 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 dun.
3, 2, 1. Quick, make a film.
Okay. I got really caught up in the music, I'm not going to lie. 5 seconds, that was, yeah, I like this tune. Right. So, after the events of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the team have all been fired due to misconduct or something. And because of that, Jake Peralta, which is his name, I think, is trying his best to regain some kind of power in his job. So he becomes a mall cop, where he's trying to recreate his life that he used to have in the 9-9 inside the mall. So he's going over the top. He's chasing down shoplifters left and right. He's tackling them to the ground. He's going for an imaginary gun, but he hasn't got one because he's not allowed one because he's a mall cop. And he's trying his best to recreate his life. However, unsuspecting to him, one of the character villains from the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine is planning to rob one of the stores inside the big mall thing.
Is it the Pontiac
Is it the
Bandit?
It is the
Pontiac
Pontiac Bandit. It is Daryl from The Office. Oh. Every time I see him, that's all I think. It's like, oh, there's Daryl. What have you done, Daryl? You've chosen the life of crime now. And he's trying his best to stop the Pontiac Bandit from stealing one of the shop's most valuable items, an original Pontiac steering wheel. It's like a car auction shop.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly a film.
Basically, Paul Blart Mall Cop.
It's basically, I can imagine Andy Samberg actually making that
Yeah,
film
I definitely
and it being a flop and not funny at all.
I don't know. I think Andy Samberg's really good at just being funny.
Have
Like,
you
Yeah.
seen Popstar?
I haven't, and
I
I don't
haven't,
want
I've been meaning
to.
Don't. He's
Really?
good. He's good in Brooklyn Nine-Nine because
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yeah, he's good in bricklaying 99 because
His spin-off show.
other people are like writing for him, and he's like with a cast of people. Even though he's like the main character, as I say, he still gets support. But in Popstar, it was all like, look, this is a film about me, and you see that Andy Samberg just.
But isn't that the point?
on
Is it
his
supposed
own,
to be over the top? Like,
It's supposed to be over the top, but over the top funny. But it's
Oh.
not. It's just over the top, annoying, not funny, egotistical.
are the rest of Lonely Island in it? 'Cause
I
that's
don't think so.
really. No,
No.
that's a shame.
To be
'Cause
fair, I don't think I can name another person from Lonely Island.
No.
I can tell you what they look like.
I can't even do that.
Do it on the ground.
One of them looks a bit like Andy Samberg from a distance. That's about the best I can give you.
So one of them is Andy Samberg, and the other one just looks like him from a distance.
And
Yes.
the other one is the other one.
Yeah, basically.
I don't even know how many members there are in Lonely
I
Island.
think there's 3, but I think also at one point there was 4.
I think there was 4 at one point.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you though. Good music though. Right, that was a good game, wasn't it?
That was a good game. Look forward to more good games to come, and next week good games. Yes.
Also, if you have any ideas,
Words, English.
if you have any ideas for any other games you think we should do,
Please tweet at Brayford Radio. We are desperate. We should also say follow Brayford Radio on Twitter at
yeah.
Brayford Radio
Yeah, do that.
and at Brayford Radio Station on Instagram for updates and to keep in touch.
and if you want to go crazy, why don't you just follow at Fandom GC as well, because that's me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
No,
Okay, don't do that.
No.
And also, if you happen to miss the podcast at any time, any Sunday, you're busy doing other things, and you want to catch up on an episode, we are uploading them to SoundCloud at Bargain Bin Podcast.
And they're also on YouTube with the same name, if you want to join in on that. And if you want to email us at any point with any, good game ideas or whatever, at it's bargainbin or thebargainbin@gmail.com.
Isn't it the like misspelled bargain bin?
No, I changed that really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine. And then I saw the message pop up with the corrections like, have I been spelling it wrong all this time?
Now, for our next film, we are going a little bit more B-movie esque. You know, Stock on You, $55 million budget. That's quite a big film.
Mainstream film.
Yeah, exactly. It's got Cher in it. It's got Matt Damon. You got some Meryl Streep. You got some people in it that you can name.
Name the other main actor in it. Without looking him up right now.
Greg Kinnear.
Very good.
Well done, Jack. Well
yeah,
played.
I definitely didn't look at my phone for that. But our next film, you will not have heard of, and if you have heard of it, then
Good luck.
yeah, well done. Like,
Hive mind there.
yeah, exactly. It is Bunny Man 2 because we didn't want to watch the first one. But Nick has got a few interesting facts about this.
Bunny Man 2 has 4 different names. It was at first called Bunny Man 2, and then when it released on DVD in the US, it was called Bunny Man Vengeance. But when it was released in the UK on DVD, it was called The Bunny Man Resurrection. But now it's been renamed to The Bunny Man Massacre. So if you're looking for it online, try The Bunny Man Massacre. And
Just type in
if you
Bunny Man
can't
2.
find it, Bunny Man 2 should work.
What one was on our DVD?
Bunny Man Resurrection.
Resurrection.
But Bunny Man is an awful attempt at like a gory horror,
Slasher.
gory slasher
Yeah,
horror.
it really, really wants to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
It really wants
There's a
to be
shot
that.
which is from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, when he's walking with the chainsaw,
And he,
like with like, him as a silhouette.
Yeah, and he puts it onto her shoulder. It's like a long shot, a wide, of inside a barn, and the only light is obviously the door for the barn. And there's a woman on her knees kneeling, like she's been tied out or whatever.
Yeah.
And he comes along and chainsaws like the side of her neck. That's from I think they did a remake of it recently. There's a shot in that.
I should say the guy doing the chainsawing is a mute man in a giant like mascot bunny costume.
Yeah.
And when he takes his mask off, he looks a lot like a really low res, really pale Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah, and it's kind of weird.
So
like,
the premise of this film, I think, is this
maybe
crazy man in a bunny costume chops people up with a chainsaw, then gives them to a guy who owns a store, and he makes them into beef jerky and sells them.
Yeah. There's not a lot on like.
No,
there's really not a lot on this
it's
film.
mainly
online.
just a lot of scantily clad women running about being chased by a chainsaw.
Yeah.
There is some nudity.
There is a lot of nudity.
Is there a lot? There's
some at the
like a
beginning.
moderate amount.
There's a whole scene at the start where Bunny Man attacks a tent of teenagers, and all of them are naked
Doing
and just running
nefarious
about.
things to each other.
All of them are naked and running about, and he kills one of them by tying them up in a sleeping bag and swinging the sleeping bag at
Wait,
a rock.
does he do that?
Yeah.
I remember thinking I wanted that because
That's
God,
what he
which
did.
Friday the 13th is it? Is
It's
it like
in one of the
7?
Friday the 13th.
It's like 6 or 7. It's a latest Friday the 13th, and he does it against a tree.
Yeah.
I know you can do that in the game. I saw some people play
Oh,
that.
can
and
you?
that's one. Like if you hide in the sleeping bag, it's one of the takedowns. Is if you can discover which one it is, he just picks it up and whacks it against
Yeah,
the nearest wall.
it's done in in one of the later Friday the 13th, and that is the best bit in the entire saga. It's
a brutal kill.
yeah.
Yeah, right. I've got a little test game for you.
Oh,
Inside this, which one of these is not the tagline for the series?
For the series.
Yes.
Which one is not?
Yeah, they're all really bad and generic. But figure out which one of these isn't.
Wait, sorry. So
it's got multiple taglines.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
like
okay.
it has different names. It has
Each
different
version
taglines.
had a tagline.
Ready? Tagline possible number 1: monsters are real.
Oh, please let it not be that.
Number 2: one by one, they all fall down. And number 3: all the pretty girls die young. Can you figure out which one's fake?
I think it's the second one because it's the only one that actually sounds okay.
I think the first one is fake.
Incorrect. They're all real, and they've all been used in the series, and they're all awful.
Wow. The
Wow.
last one is
All
so
the pretty
good.
girls die
All pretty
young.
girls die young.
Although I watched a clip from the first one, because once again, like Stuck on You, very little clips exist of this.
Yeah, but this is more
Obviously.
understandable.
Yeah, this is understandable. This is a terrible B movie.
There's a good kind of fake out death to get back at the villain. So the Bunny Man's in the first one, obviously. And there is no context provided for this scene. but it is shot awfully, like a student film, that level. And the guy's like, "I've got no weapons, just take her." And you can't see, but there's a girl on the floor, like passed out, maybe been hit by a car or something. You can't tell. And he slowly, and you can hear the guy grunting, trying to pick her up and put her over her shoulder, and then walks over to his big truck and throws her in it. The bunny man gets into the car, and then she just kind of springs back up and stabs him with a pair of scissors, which I thought was quite cool, like a bit of a fake out. And then he just turns around and clocks her. So, like everything in these films, there's a really they're going to do that, and then it's quickly undercut by clearly there was no budget and no time, so all these cool ideas have to be muted really quickly.
Yeah, although they do very much call back to that scene in the second one. I don't know whether you remember, multiple times he has like flashbacks to like this girl, and that is the girl that stabs him, which is like it's so weird that this film that has no budget, no premise, style,
Annoying
anything. Yeah,
no
exactly. Tries to have the continuity between the two. You'd think that they just go like, look, we know we're a stupid film about this bunny man just trying to kill people. Each of them are separate things.
I'll tell you what, though, another fun fact.
Oh, another fun fact of the day.
I always thought it was really weird that it's just a bunny man. I thought maybe it's like, oh, we bought this rabbit costume really cheap at an auction. Let's make a film about it. It's actually based on a Virginian urban legend.
Really?
Yep, obscurely, but it is. There is this bunny-like man creature in Virginia that goes around killing people in the woods. So it's kind of based on that.
I guess, yeah.
It's always so tropey.
Yeah. I mean,
You're looking at the pictures of it now.
I mean, yeah, like it's just if you had told me that they bought this at like a costume store for 20 quid and just decided, yeah, that's what we're going to use for our mascot for this film, like the killer that everyone's going to know, like I don't know.
I remember one scene specifically really well, which Adam couldn't watch, and Jack was squeamish
I
at.
couldn't do this one.
I wasn't squeamish at it. I was alright with it. It's just Adam. Adam
I
couldn't.
can't-
He literally
I'm
couldn't
I'm
watch
going to
it.
say this. I hate horror films. And 9 times out of 10, the films we watch are horror films.
Not 9 times out.
Oh,
I make sure to pick one a week just
One a
for
week
Adam.
horror
Just for
films.
Adam.
It just, every now and then, it crushes me. But luckily, they're so bad, it's okay. However, I don't know what it was. It's the thought of this, which, I don't know, it just got in my head.
So what happened was the bunny man had captured these women, and he was killing them off one by one. So to kill one of them off, he put her in like a water barrel, an oil barrel.
Those big blue barrels. you see.
barrels, and locked her in it. And then he got nails and a hammer and a drill and stuck nails all around the edge of the barrel, so they were sticking inwards towards where she was. He then proceeded to kick the barrel off the edge of a steep rocky hill. So the barrel just bounced down. Obviously, she was inside, getting hit by all the nails, and it was just. It wasn't gory as per se,
No, you
but I
don't see
think
anything.
just the thought of
Yeah.
it made Adam
I just
cringe up into a
because
ball.
when they do the drill, there's a bit where it's like really close to her face, and you're just like, oh no, in the eye, gross. Just couldn't do it. Although that's in the trailer, so I watched the trailer. There's 2 trailers, same exact clips, 2 different songs.
Oh,
Really, really bad. And it's all like one of those like a slow upbeat, that kind of trope where it's like, oh, it's a happy song but played to horrible stuff. And then the other
Which
ones,
I like that trope.
the other
Don't
ones-
give that trope a bad name.
I think it's overdone. The most over the top kind of Inception, boom, every 30 seconds, and it introduced like, there's over 10,000 rabbits in the U.S.
Only 10,000 rabbits in
Only
the US.
10,000.
Wow.
There's over 10 million rabbits in the U.S. But this one is miffed.
And they definitely use that word.
they used
Yeah,
that
they
word,
definitely
not
used
a
the word
different word,
myth. No,
which we
no.
had to cut out
Yeah.
and redo.
Another fun fact about this film, because
Oh
this
my
film
God.
is
There's
so
so many fun facts.
bad.
So many fun facts.
It has hundreds of them. And I've saved this one from both of you because I want to see Jack's reaction.
Oh, nice.
Right, so the trailer music, which is used in this film,
Mm-hmm.
not the 2 I've talked about, there's another one.
There's
Ooh,
another one.
there's a
There's
third
another
trailer.
and some of the film has ripped music directly from 28 Days Later.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like I noticed that when watching it. Like, it has the... Oh, my God, what is his name? It's John somebody.
Cena.
if it was John Cena, that'd be amazing. No,
He was in it, you just couldn't see him. Memes!
Hey.
So John Murphy, who is the artist, the In a House in a Heartbeat, it is like that is the 28 Days Later
Oh, yeah.
song. Like, you know, everyone, if you don't know it, type in the song. That will be the one that turns up.
Yeah, they've nicked that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good song, and if they got the rights to it, then fair enough.
They definitely didn't get
They
the
definitely
rights to
didn't
it.
get the rights to it though.
Things we need to talk about before we move on from this film. The very opening. Do you remember it?
I do remember
The
the
girl
opening.
on the bench.
Yeah, which makes
And
no
the
sense.
The school bus.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the very beginning,
Mhm.
it opens with this girl sitting on a bench. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's like in the middle of a dirt road. It's like a school bus area, pickup area. And the school bus pulls up, and then the ominous music starts playing, and the bus pulls up, and then suddenly the girl just slumps over, and you've seen that she's been killed and tied to the bench. But no one reacts in the shocked manner which they should. And then these kids sit out of their chair inside the bus and point, go, "Look out! There's a bunny!" And the driver.
That's a good child impression.
Look out! There's a
bunny!
It's literally the word said in it. They turn, and the driver doesn't pay any attention to that until a man who's about 6 foot appears in a 7-foot bunny costume, because of the ears. Comes along with a chainsaw and just leans into the window, and then just blood everywhere, wall to wall.
Yeah.
Blood.
It's not a very tasteful scene.
It's not tasteful,
No.
it's just so intense. And then,
It
of
was-
course, he
But-
gets
but
onto
that's
the
the thing.
bus
It's a
and
bit of
just...
shock factor.
But it's not. All right. So, as I've got the cover of it, what I do find curious is that half of the back cover has like a school bus sign and a school bus like back, and it's like that is one scene at the beginning of the film that has no bearing on the rest of the film.
But we all remembered that scene, and I don't think we remember
Anything
many
else.
other scenes from
yeah,
the film.
true.
It's like Kangaroo Jack in many respects.
Another great movie.
You've not seen Kangaroo
I
Jack?
think Kangaroo Jack.
Oh
Okay.
dear, Jack.
Then one day I will tell you the story of Kangaroo Jack.
Coming soon to the podcast, we will be reviewing Kangaroo Jack.
Nice. I'm
It's
really,
gonna
looking,
blow
I'm
your
really looking
mind.
forward to that. Another thing about the cover is that apparently it is inspired by true events.
It could be inspired by true events. I mean, America's a really big place.
It
is
is.
We haven't heard everything that's come out of it. Hey, should we talk about the characters?
Yeah, let's do that.
What do you mean
For the
the-
first time.
Yeah, the one-dimensional characters.
They're so one-dimensional. They haven't got surnames.
Oh, I wonder what their names are. Probably stuff like Josh, Jessica, and Trank.
Oh, no, I've got to keep it in. This is the only way we'll ever become new and noteworthy on iTunes.
Trank.
Trank's a name.
No, it's not.
It's definitely
What is it
not.
short for? Tranquilizer.
They were so annoying because they have the most tropiest like character development ever. In fact, they don't.
Character development.
Yeah, it's
Character
like
development.
none of them have like when they have an opportunity to seize power. Like one of them has a gun at one point and can shoot the bunny man. She doesn't.
Oh, but
She's
is
scared.
this going to be like in Friday the 13th though, or I suppose Halloween as well, where it's like, are they actually human because they, you know, can get shot and still be alive? And because in fairness, that could be what they're going for. Because in the first one, he gets stabbed with the scissors.
The scissors,
So
yeah.
maybe that is what they're trying to go for. That he is like Freddy and Michael.
Yeah.
No, Jason.
Jason.
And Michael.
J-
Yeah, I mean, I guess Freddy's.
He does get burnt as well. That's the point of the end. He gets set on fire. That's why he's got the burn face in the second one.
Wait, in
What,
the first one he
Friday
gets
the
burned.
13th?
No, sorry, in Bunny Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
He gets burnt at
I'm
the end of Bunny Man.
confused about which
The first
terrible horror movie we're talking about.
Hey, you don't diss the first Halloween.
I can watch.
Yeah,
It's it.
it's
You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Exactly.
It's furious knowledge.
So go from my word that it is a incredibly good horror film.
I mean, that's the only bit that's going to go in the podcast.
It's
isn't it?
John.
Yeah.
It's John Carpenter, so it's bound
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be good.
It's a thing, isn't it?
Hey.
Another way better horror film than this one.
Is it a horror film? It's more of a thriller.
It's
It's a horror.
supposed to be a horror
It's a
though.
horror.
I
If you
guess
really
it's
want
like-
to push it, you could call it a slasher,
It's like
but
an
it's
era,
a
isn't it?
horror.
It's an era change.
Okay, so should we do our next game?
Sure. Well, it's not a game, Jack. This
Okay.
week we're gonna review some trailers that have come out in the past week.
Oh yeah,
Oh, boy.
Trailer time. So you may have seen recently, we've had a teaser for Toy Story 4. We've had the trailer for Detective Pikachu, and we've had the trailer for the Lego Movie 2.
Whoop whoop.
Adam's very excited for that.
I love the Lego movie.
I
Anyway.
feel like the Lego Movie 2, it'll be good, but I feel like after the first Lego movie, I was like, okay, that's really good, but I don't need more of this.
I agree, but watching the other Lego movies they made, and by that I mean I watched
The
Batman.
Batman
I watched
and the Ninja one.
I only watched the Batman one.
Wait, they made a ninja one?
Yeah.
Like basically Lego's biggest property is something called Ninjago.
Which
And so
I do know of that.
They were
yeah.
just like, and they make a TV show as well. Screw it, let's just make a movie, and it's super over the top, but like really style. It's really cool. But that was kind of the like, like it was made without it didn't have the soul that the Lego movie did. Basically,
Yeah.
they had all the assets, they had all the technology, so it wasn't pushing anything. It was just we can make another.
It just didn't have good writers or good voice
no, it
actors.
had
or...
like they did really good voice actors. There's some big names in it.
Oh, really?
And they do this really cool thing. I'm talking about the Ninjago movie. They did the cool thing. There's news anchors in it, and for each like region where they released it, they re-recorded the news anchors for like the most popular ones of their area.
Yeah.
So for us,
Oh.
we had like GMTV presenters were the voices,
Oh.
and then for America was like CNN presenters.
Like in Zootopia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
okay.
redid all of the ones for like different animals. So like China got like a panda,
Yeah.
and the UK got like a buffalo or something.
Yeah. Anyway, Lego Movie 2.
Anyway, Lego Movie 2, it looks okay.
I think it'd be fun. That's what I as long as it's fun, that's all I care about. 'Cause what surprised me about the first one was the sudden twist where it's like, oh,
The sudden,
it's all
like-
real
Yeah.
father and son relationship, which was really like, oh, that really got me. I don't think you can do that again.
No, they
But
definitely
I
can't
like-
pull that again.
I think just not going anywhere near that and just telling another story. You could do at the end, just say it's the story of this father and son playing together, because it is, they're mixing up Lego again. So it could be that. But
I'll tell you what it'll
I liked
be.
it.
In the trailer, if you haven't seen it, it introduces the new bad guy, Emperor Evil or something.
yeah, yeah.
But my guess is that that's the kid's new stepmom, and he's like pretending that she's evil in Lego, and then she comes at the end and plays
Turns
with
out
him.
she's
Maybe.
really
Turns
nice.
out she's really
I,
good.
Yeah.
That's my guess for it.
So if you want to hear something really dull, because I know a lot about Lego, the villains in it are the girls, quote unquote, Lego sets they do now.
Yeah.
Lego Friends. That's why they look a bit different and they're more pink and colourful.
Wait, what in Lego Movie 2?
Yeah.
So
So
the villains in this one's like a space thing.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a space thing, but like the things that capture Wildstyle
Yeah.
they're called Lego Friends.
Oh, okay.
They're like these weird like doll-like Lego things.
Mm.
So my guess is it's going to be either it's his stepmom, or I think it's going to be like a sister, and it's going to be the whole you play with your Lego, I'll play with my Lego, they don't mix. I think that's where it's going to go.
Yeah.
personally.
But didn't they do that at the end?
The end
That
of the
was
last
like
one,
a little
yeah.
joke
Duplo.
at the end of the last one. Was a little sister like dumped all her Duplo over everything.
So if there's anything,
yeah.
I reckon it'd be just that, and it's like 7 years later, probably.
Yeah,
Is
I
there-
don't think we need another twist like that. I'd rather
No,
just see
just a story
fun
in that
story.
universe, if anything.
But
Is there any reason as to why there's like a wasteland at the minute?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find
no,
out.
yeah, no, there's no clue at the end. It's like it's pretty happy at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
It's very Mad Max, which I quite like.
But I guess it's it's produced well, done by
Humour's
good people.
there, I can
So
see
I
the
reckon
humour.
it's just going to be a fun little movie.
Mm.
Yeah. Detective Pikachu now?
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Jack, as
I'm
a big Pokemon fan, what do you think?
I'm very excited for this film. I think like it has a lot of potential.
Mm.
It could be very good. I think in the end it would be an average film, but like I think my hopes for it is that it's
Your
going to be very
fanboyism.
good. Yeah, exactly.
That's where my Lego is.
Because I really like seeing the Pokemon like kind of not just 3Dified, but kind of like made real. The fact that Pikachu has fur and Charizard has scales and that kind of thing. However, Mr. Mime, no,
No.
no,
Too spooky?
it's too weird. It's too weird.
I just think it's going to be, from the trailer, from the looks of it, I was like, and from the get-go, I can kind of tell it's just going to be a bang average movie.
Yeah.
But I don't see why we need like a live action Pokemon movie. Just let Pokemon be Pokemon. Leave it alone.
I think it's fine doing a live action one. I'm in between you two. For some of the Pokemon, I think they look great, but for some of them, I don't think
Some of them
real-lifing
look
them
awful.
look too much. Like the only other thing you could do is make them all matte and almost like solids.
Mm. which I think would look terrible.
I think
Which
would work
look
for
even
some of
worse.
them, but not all. I'm not a big fan of the fur on Pikachu. It doesn't look strong
No.
enough. If that makes sense.
I think I
it looks
like it.
too
Charizard,
Charizard looks great.
and the Frog Ninja one look good, but apart from that, I think they all look pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. I like to see where they go. I think doing Detective Pikachu is a weird one to start with.
A
No,
weird
I like
choice.
it, though.
I would have just done a
Like a red,
Pokemon Red like storyline.
and maybe doing like the first gym or something, but making
Maybe.
a big arc getting to the first.
No,
gym.
the thing is, I like the fact that they're doing Detective Pikachu because it means that, like, one, if this does terribly, it can be a standalone film, and there'll probably be a hint to a sequel, but for the most part, it will be a standalone film. And secondly, they have a really easy, like, kind of plot that they can just have. It's just he is trying to find this guy is trying to find his father, and that's it. Like, they don't. There's a basic plot. They can do stuff with it. They can have a twist. Like, it doesn't need people who don't like Pokemon can still go and see it because it's a detective movie. You know?
I can see that. It's kind of like if you don't like comic books, you can still watch Watchmen.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's more of a thriller.
One thing I'm majorly against is Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu.
Yeah.
He is just using his normal voice. He's not even trying. And also, if you imagine Pikachu speaking English, he doesn't sound.
No.
He wouldn't sound like Ryan Reynolds.
No.
It's so off-putting to me and takes me right out of it.
He's been typecast, which is well because it's a really good role he's got, but he's stuck in that kind of zany character. So doing a semi-serious Pokemon Pikachu thing, I don't think works for him at all. Because in my
Well,
head,
no,
it's
because
just
I
Deadpool in a costume.
imagine he's just gonna bring that like jokey, witty thing to the Detective Pikachu
Oh,
character, and I don't think that'll work.
Yeah, he's more of a. I remember hearing about this ages ago, and I don't know if it was just some offhand comment I heard. I thought the voice was going to be the guy from How I Met Your Mother,
Patrick
Neil
Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. I thought it was him. Now I don't know if that was just like a rumor or something actually went through, but I think that would be better.
I mean, anything's better than
Anything's
Ryan
better than
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
What is one thing that I kind of want them to have it in, but at the same time, it's just kind of, it would be so stupid if they do, is that, have you not seen the Pikachus dressed like Deadpool?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
those.
Like, if they put that in the film, on the one hand, it would be like a chuckle, but on the other
won't
hand, it would be like...
in the Pokemon
nah.
film, but it'll definitely be in the Deadpool film.
If they
Okay,
make
yeah,
another
fair
one.
enough.
That's the
No,
next.
they are making it.
They're making like Team
They're doing
X.
X-Force. I
Yeah.
think.
Are they?
X-Force.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's what they said at the end. Well, they said it at the end of the film because Deadpool was kind of like done as a character. You can't go anywhere, but you can do it with other people.
But you can do a
I think-
Deadpool like as the head of the X-Men film.
No, I think they can really go somewhere with
There are
that.
loads of other stories, but I think that it's too zany at this point.
No, I thought, spoilers for Deadpool 2,
Great
I
film.
thought that Vanessa was going to come back as Death because he has a relationship literally with Death in the comics.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought she was going to come back and be Death. And that is a point. Why would they not do that? That's such a
That could
good
work.
plot for a film.
She's a really good character in it.
Yeah.
She really stands out in it, even though she's not in as much as the first one. For obvious reasons, she's dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never thought about it like that, but I think that'd be quite a cool twist to it.
I genuinely thought that was what was going to happen in Deadpool 2. I was really surprised when they didn't do that.
That's quite cool. Never
Speaking
thought
of Deadpool 2, another trailer from this week is the trailer for the redo of Deadpool 2, the PG-13
Oh, yeah.
cut
Okay.
of Deadpool 2.
so
Yeah, I so was
which
I.
I just think is really unnecessary. It's like, I get why they're doing it, but
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not
money.
going to see it.
To be honest,
I think I'll
Deadpool
see
2.
it. I just want to know what they've done. I'm more curious than like I'll see it again, which I'm okay because I like Deadpool too. But it's like I'm really curious of what have they cut out and what's
And
okay.
how have they cut it to be a PG-13?
I really hope there are some new jokes in it.
I doubt there will be.
No, I just think like it's the kind of thing that they probably were in a meeting and thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Deadpool was a 12 because haha, that's what everyone was afraid of.
And also we can get everyone to go see it again and
Yeah,
make loads
exactly.
of money.
And you just got to have like a little bit of a marketing campaign behind it. Costs like I don't know, $200,000, not very much. Let's just go do it, and there you go. We just made another $20 million.
And not tell anyone about it until 2 weeks before it's released, so everyone thinks it's a secret Deadpool Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Which is how they've marketed it, which
Yeah.
is a bit annoying. But
whatever.
oh well. What was the other trailer? The teaser for Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4. Yeah, everyone is either really for this or really against it.
I refuse to have an opinion.
I am not going to have an opinion
Yeah.
until I see it. You can't tell anything from the teaser.
I watch it. No, I don't mind having an opinion once a trailer comes out.
Oh, yeah,
but the
yeah.
teaser was just like,
teaser-
hey, look at this new character. That's it.
I'm still
This new
reluctant with
character
trailers.
having an existential crisis about whether he's a toy or not.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
I
That,
can't.
that feels like
When I heard they were making Toy Story 4 for the first time, my heart did sink a little bit. I was like, oh, just leave it alone.
3
Just-
had such a good ending.
yeah,
3 is
it
just
was
great ending.
It's so
perfect.
good. Just leave it alone. Stop reviving stuff for money. Just leave it alone. But I don't know. I really hope they pull it out of the bag, especially as Pixar's kind of gone downhill since Toy Story 3, in my opinion.
Really? What? To be fair, I can't think of much that they've done. What have they
I'm not
done?
sure whether it was before or after Toy Story 3, but they did Brave, Cars
Brave,
2,
that's before. That's
Inside Out, and Coco,
after, that's
which
after.
are like okay.
I didn't like Inside Out at all. I thought everybody loved it, and I watched it and was just like, I don't understand what the big fuss is about. The concept is great.
Maybe it's
but-
just us growing up, or maybe it's Pixar like deteriorating. But either way, when I watch a Pixar film now, a new one, it's like
I want to see Coco though. because
I
Finding
do want to see
Dory
Coco
as
as
well.
well.
That's
Did you
pretty cool.
see Finding
I
Dory?
missed it. I was out of the country.
I didn't hear like anyone saying like it was great or anything, so I never
People were
bothered,
just
and I
like,
haven't heard anything
eh.
about it since. Incredibles 2 was okay.
Incredibles 2 would have been way better if they had an actual twist in it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that
There's,
they didn't have a twist in that film, considering how you
How
could see
obvious it was.
the villain from the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched someone talk about the Incredibles 2. Everything is really good in that. Like the action's great, the dialogue, the stuff. It is literally the villain.
Yeah,
It's just a
that
bit-
is the only problem with that, because it was just like, I know this film is for kids, but it's also for all the fans of the first one, which, you know, they're grown up at this point. Like, I mean,
I would have preferred if they
as
didn't just
I
moved
was
on.
watching it, I was like, this is okay, this is good. I'm like having an enjoyable time watching it, but again in my mind, as I do with most stuff, I'm like, why couldn't they just left it alone? Why can't they just leave The Incredibles as just one movie, as a great thing? Why do they have to bring it back to try and make money? It just annoys me.
I mean, there were parts of it that I liked, because I liked the like seeing more powers, because I'm a sucker for like in X-Men when they just like everybody show your powers
Yeah.
montage. Like I like those because I like seeing everyone's different powers, and so I like that about Incredibles 2. But yeah, just the villain, like, because that's the thing, the villain like themselves, the kind of, you know, the messing with your mind like via the TV, that kind of thing. That was really cool. I like that, but it was just who they ended up being, and it was just yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else can be said about this
Pulling
film.
it back to the trailers
Yeah.
because of that big tangent. Where were we?
We were talking about Toy Story 4, and
Toy
I think
Story
that
4.
was the last trailer we were
Um,
doing.
You want to quick mention about not Lolita? What's it called? Alita.
Alita. Battle Angel.
I think the
That's
action
my
in it
opinion.
looks pretty cool, and I think that if it was a game, it would be really, really good. However, as a film, it
Yeah.
looks very
I
meh.
think the technology. I think this film has to be made just to show off. Hey, look, this technology is getting really, really close to getting out of the uncanny valley. But I think this film just let it go. In 5 years, take it, make a Deus Ex Netflix show, and I'll be happy because it's basically the same thing. And you don't have to worry about face CGI, which I still think is the main problem with CGIing a character.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't know why. I guess it is an anime, but for the only anime aspect, they've kept her massive eyes.
I think it's a manga. I don't think it's an
It's a
anime.
manga. Okay, it's manga, but still, it's just a bit too jarring because you've got real life actors against this composite,
Yeah.
and it's big headlights staring back at them. I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but the action.
Yeah,
really
the action
cool.
looks good.
I love a 3D camera move in
Yeah.
action. It's my favorite
But
thing.
one thing that, bringing it back to it looks like a game. When she is fighting other like cyborg androids, I don't know what they are in it. Just
Androids,
maybe
I
they're
think.
just robots. When she is fighting another one of them, it does just look like a game cutscene. Like it doesn't look like a film. So it's like it would, if that was a game, it would look really impressive. But as a film, it kind of looks a bit meh. I don't know. I just meh. Talking of, when you mentioned Netflix though, I feel that they've really ramped up their high budget films that they've been making. Like, I can't believe the fact that, I mean, what is it, the Ballad of Buster?
Ballad of Buster Scruggs
Yeah.
by the Coen brothers.
Yeah, so
I
they've
think
got-
that's just distributed by Netflix though.
Oh, okay. But then like the Mowgli film.
Yeah, but again, that's just
Just
a
distributed.
Are these-
studio doing it and then being distributed by
But
Netflix.
still-
Yeah, but
It's
it's
not-
not.
it's
Still probably paid like
it's not-
a lot for the rights.
It's not like Netflix funded, Netflix made films. It's Netflix buying these films that are independent and then releasing them as a Netflix film.
True, but imagine how much money they would have to pay, considering like if they were to release this at the cinema, especially the Mowgli one, like a lot of people would go and see that. So for Netflix to be like, hey, we are basically prepared to pay all the money that people would have otherwise paid for it so it can be on our platform. Like that seems like an awful lot of money that they would have had to pay
it's
for
a
that.
thing of like risk as well, because with Mowgli, obviously you've had the live action Jungle Book from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Netflix can come along and say, for this flat rate, we'll distribute your film to all our audience, and it's obviously going to be above the budget. Obviously, you're going to make a profit, and some people are happy to go, yeah, we'll take that, we'll pay all our staff, we've made money, rather than releasing it out to the public and probably making more than they would have by selling it to Netflix. But it's just that safety thing, and let's just give it to Netflix, because why not?
Yeah.
But also, Netflix, in my opinion, hasn't got a really good track record of originals.
I mean,
TV show or film?
It did.
Films.
Okay, yeah, I was supposed to say the TV shows are pretty
TV
good.
shows are good.
The TV
but
shows
I
were
think
good.
they're dipping.
Like
They're dipping for TV shows.
2 or 3 years ago, when they started to do TV shows, every one was really good. But like the past year, when they're bringing out a new Netflix original TV show every week, they're all like.
Yeah, because it's like what you were saying. The TV shows especially, like, it's kind of being a detriment to them that they're putting their name on it.
Yeah.
Because if they were to just, like, pay them for the rights to distribute it and just put it on their platform without the Netflix tag, no one would really care. But then when you just look, and there's, honestly, you go through a list of maybe, like, 15 TV shows, maybe 5 to 7 of those will be Netflix originals.
Yes, and it's like, what are they recommending to me? Every other thing has like a little Netflix logo on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
So maybe this is just like a ply to bolster their reputation. Because it's Andy Serkis. It's fairly good CG.
it's
pretty good
well-known.
CG.
It's a really well-known story and character.
So maybe this is just like, hey, we do make good stuff. Give us more things to do.
Because that's the thing. People will look at it and be like, Netflix made
Also,
this, rather than
because-
Netflix paid to put this on Netflix. And
Because of the other streaming services which are now coming out, they've got much more competition, especially because they're going to lose all their Marvel
they're going to
stuff.
lose all the Marvel and Disney
allegedly,
stuff.
They're going to lose all their Warner Brothers stuff, because Warner Brothers is doing their own streaming service. So they're going to really quickly...
Warner Brothers are?
Yeah, because Marvel, obviously the Marvel Disney streaming service, the DC brand and Warner Brothers are doing their own one. But it's also the DC one, you get comic books as well. But you will also get all the classics, TV shows, all
That's
the classic
insane.
films. And then Warner Brothers are also doing like Looney Tunes stuff as well, going over there.
To be honest, if Warner Brothers did one, if Fox did one, like...
Well,
if,
Fox is owned by Disney now. So
oh,
that'll be
okay,
part of
yeah,
the
okay,
Disney
fair
one.
enough. But my point is the fact that, like, if a few big companies decided to do their own streaming thing, Netflix would have, like, a good 70% of their library just taken off.
That's why I think they're pushing for more originals.
It's
true.
good for the companies, but it's really annoying for consumers.
Yeah.
Because a couple of years ago, if you had Netflix or if you had Amazon Prime, you could pretty much watch anything you wanted to. But now you've got Netflix, Amazon Prime, you've got like Now TV, you've got what's that other one called?
It's Hulu, but I don't
Hulu.
Is that available in the UK?
I'm not sure.
I think some.
And now
like
you've
some
got
stuff
the
is.
Disney one coming out, the Warner Brothers one coming out. Everything seems to be getting their own streaming service, so all the content is being split. So rather than paying £6 a month for Netflix and having everything you want to watch in one place, you have to pay £6 a month for 5 or 6 different services, and it just becomes so anti-consumer.
Yeah.
I think this way of streaming stuff is going to go downhill massively, and they're all going to start losing money.
I think it's a big cycle, because we had Sky, quote unquote. Sky was the main one basically, and then you had Netflix and everything. And Sky's slowly losing its grasp because everyone has that. Now there's loads of streaming services. They're all breaking off of Netflix, and I reckon it's going to go back round again. You're going to have one service which you say you can pay $50 a month. You get all of these, which is then basically Sky again. That will break off. It's just a cycle of how new media is made, I think. So we should be fine in like 10 years.
Well, I know I'd rather listen to some great talk shows, music shows and podcasts on Brayford Radio, at Brayford Radio on Twitter and at Brayford Radio Station on Instagram.
And if you've got any thoughts on the show, why not email us at thebargainbin@gmail.com.
Spelled normally bargain bin instead of the way that Adam spelt it
I
for
fixed
years
it.
before.
Also, if you want to see longer, uncut versions of this podcast with all of our mistakes in, then visit the Bargain Bin podcast on
Yes,
SoundCloud.
Spotify.
Not on
Ooh.
Spotify. We could be on Spotify.
Let's
I
put
mean,
it on
I think you have to
everything.
pay for Spotify. I think you have to pay
Yeah,
them.
it's like iTunes. You got to pay for that.
On SoundCloud, the Bargain Bin podcast.
Or YouTube, if you want.
Yeah. Or Vimeo.
No.
I'm
Who
not doing it
uses
Vimeo.
Vimeo?
Professionals use Vimeo, you know.
I mean, sure.
Neil Blomkamp uses Vimeo.
Neil Blomkamp also puts all of his stuff on YouTube as well.
Yeah, he knows which one's the correct
Yeah.
platform. Right. We're done with trailers.
Yeah.
Trailers are done.
Trailers are done.
Really quickly, by the way, I forgot to mention, I've got another fun fact about Bunny Man.
Oh my god.
It's
We don't
James
care.
Gunn's second favourite film.
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
Shut up. Okay, for the third film, as you know, we like to pick a film either that none of us have seen before and have all heard is good, or that one of us have seen and wants to show the other two. So this week, we picked up out the bargain bin Children of Men, and none of us had ever seen it before.
No, and it was great.
It's a lovely, well, not lovely.
Oh, a lovely film,
It's-
Adam, was
It's
it?
not a lovely
What's the word?
film. It's a
Beautiful?
bleak.
Like-
Very good film. Just,
Yeah, I
just
don't
say
wanna say
that.
very
It's
good.
bleak and depressing, but really good.
Mm. Very, very
It's
good.
like an English essay that you want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically what it is.
yeah.
So the plot of this this film is it's 2025, 2026.
Yeah,
I think it's
about that.
2027.
Something like that. Anyway, it's about 10 years in the future, and women have stopped being able to conceive, so
Mhm.
there's no more babies being born, and the youngest person in the world is 18 years old, and this kind of ex-cop, or he's currently a detective or something, he finds this kind of resistance group against the government who have found a pregnant lady, and it's his job to escort her to the border of the country to get her out.
He's not a detective or anything. He's literally just like, he works in the city, and just the only reason why he's even gets like roped into it is because
His
Julianne Moore.
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore's
right, yeah.
ex-girlfriend.
I
Yeah.
remember now. But yeah, it's got a really good cast. It's a really good British film, British set, British
Mhm.
actors. It's directed by Alfonso Cuarón,
Mhm.
who did Prisoner of Azkaban,
Oh, right.
and he did another thing which was
He did
really
Gravity.
good. Yeah, Gravity. That's the one. He did Gravity, which was really good. But yeah, Clive Owen plays the main character. You've got Michael Caine in it. You've got Julianne Moore. The main guy who's like the leader of the resistance is Chiwetel Ejiofor, and he's a really good actor.
Mm.
He's really good in it. I
He's
mean, like,
very
I
good.
haven't seen him in something he's been bad in. so,
He's good in everything he's in.
yeah,
But yeah, I think we all really enjoyed Children of Men.
yeah,
Mm,
definitely. It was very, very good.
It's real, like it's very real. Like the characters feel like real people, and I think that's entirely down to the way it's filmed.
Mm.
It's all just a series of long takes,
It's all like one shot
one
takes.
shots for like 3 minutes each. The beginning shot, when they're in the coffee shop,
Mm.
as we go through the story, is them watching a television of the news report of the world's youngest person, who is 26, gets killed.
He's 18.
Oh no, the next person's 18, I think.
No.
Oh no, it goes up, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets killed because
He's
someone
like
wants
a
to
celebrity
yeah.
because he's the world's youngest person.
Yeah,
Someone wants him to sign an autograph, and they don't, so they kill him. And it's this big news. You're watching Children of Men on your
yeah.
phone?
It's on Netflix. I didn't realize it was on Netflix.
Ah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
go watch this on
yeah.
Netflix.
Go watch
Go
it on
watch it on
Netflix.
Netflix, it's
I didn't
great.
realize it was on it.
Before we talk about spoilers or anything, please go watch it because it's really great.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very, very good.
Pause this now. Go watch it. Come back.
It is probably the best film that we've watched, like, doing this, which we've done this for like a while before.
We've done this for like a year before we started the
yeah.
podcast.
2 things I recommend doing: watching this on Netflix, then watching. I think it's Nerdwriter. There's an essay on this, like a video essay.
Mm.
Watch that as well if you don't quite understand or you miss some of the key themes of it. It's a really good video. And then come back to this where we talk about it in nowhere near as close enough.
Yeah.
Well, we go, I really like that one shot where everything happens in the background, but you see the character's face a lot. That's basically my opinion.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
Yeah,
Just end the
that's
podcast
literally
there.
the
There you go, we
show.
did it.
You've nailed the show in
There you go,
30
well done.
seconds. So yeah, they're in the coffee shop and they leave, and you forget that they've not cut at all. The camera just swoops down, walks out with him, walks out. He's just walking down the street, and then just an explosion.
Mhm.
The coffee shop explodes everywhere, but it doesn't focus on the explosion. Every time action happens, it's just the main character in the center of the screen. It's his reaction to it. Everything's happening in the background. you can still see it, but it's not the main focus of what's happening. And I thought that was a really interesting choice in how to film it.
And it wouldn't have worked if Clive Owen wasn't like extraordinarily good.
He
in
is
it.
he's
very
so good.
Like,
He's like
genuinely like Oscar, maybe not winning, but like nominated.
genuinely like one of the best performances I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
We always say, like, is there any performance which you genuinely think is like an epitome of like acting? Clive Owen in this film, I think, is up there for me. He is absolutely great in it.
Especially when you put it into the context of there are no cuts. It's just him having to do it.
It's
and
just
then
him
nailing it at every second.
towards the end. There's like a big battle scene where they keep all the criminals and unwanted people in these big slums, which are like rundown cities. It's like a massive battle scene in this rundown city. All these explosions going off, all these people getting shot, but the whole time it's like a 9-minute take where he's running through. It's all just focused on him running about, dodging stuff, and it's amazing how intense it is just with that shot.
And there's a bit that happens after that. Honestly, we say spoilers on this show, but like I really don't want to spoil it.
I don't want to spoil it.
But I really want to talk about it.
I really want to talk about
it.
it. But this is like, this film is so good, do not let us spoil it.
All I'm going to say, I'm not going to say what happens. I'm going to say what it feels like watching it. You know, in films where it feels really weird, people just stand up. They're watching something and they stand up because it's that emotion. It's one of those moments where it's just everything is happening and it's beautiful to watch what's happening, the meaning behind it. You just feel like it's standing up, basically. I don't know if that describes it very well, but
I mean, I would never stand up.
I would never stand up.
but you know what I'm talking about? In a film where something dramatic happens, characters, they stand up, they look at it. I can think of several films. I can't tell you what films, but I can tell you these scenes have happened. That's what happens.
I'm just imagining, you know, when you hear stories of like people in cinemas, normally in America, when they're like at the end, people stood up and they clapped, and it's like,
imagine that, but no clapping.
yeah, but okay, sure.
But yeah, Children of Men on Netflix or 50p at your local bargain bin store.
Yeah,
Like we
true.
got it. Just
You can own that forever if you pay just 50p. And you can have that on your shelf, and you can always be
go back and
reminded
watch it.
how good a film it is.
When you feel really down, watch that and go, oh, nothing's as bad as that.
Yeah, true.
Can we talk a second about Michael Caine's character?
Oh, he's so good.
great. That's
Michael
such a
Caine
human
plays
person.
like a stoner hippie
Yeah.
old man, and it's great. He lives out in the woods in a little shack, and his performance, it's like nothing I've ever seen Michael Caine do before. It's great.
He felt happy playing it.
Yeah.
You know, when you can see joy in an actor.
Yeah.
Like everyone in this world is super depressed, but his character is so happy, and you can tell Michael Caine had a blast playing him.
Yeah. That's what I loved about it, was every character has its own reasons, its own development. And even if they're in the background and they're just bystander characters, they all feel real, and you can almost feel their history. There's a bit near the middle, towards the middle end, where someone gets shot, just another bystander gets shot, and the camera's walking past it, and there's an old woman holding him, crying. And what the camera does, instead of following the main characters, they run down a street, it stops and just holds on them, and you feel this story that you've missed, and you just focus on it. And in films, when you see people die, it has no effect on you because it's just, you know, these are actors. For some weird reason, maybe it's the way it's shot, how it's all wobbly, feels like a mockumentary kind of thing. There's that real moment of just, ooh, this is all heavy, this is all real, and that's what this film is for me. It's that level of like care to characters.
I think it's safe to say we all really enjoyed Children of Men.
No, I hated it.
And can't recommend it enough.
Yes, definitely
Yeah.
watch this film. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very, very
It's one of those like 100 watch before you die type stuff, I think.
Yeah.
So guys, that was the Bargain Bin podcast with Stuck on You, The Bunnyman Resurrection and Children of Men, along with our new game, Quick Make a Film, and our trailer reviews. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
I've been Nick.
I've been Adam.
And I've been Jack.
We will see you next week.
Also, James Gunn really likes Children of Men.
Stop.
Stop it.